Alright, so continuing here with modeling props for our scene, the next prop we're going to model are picture frames. No house is complete without having some picture frames on a table, coffee table, on a desk, shelf, and on the walls. So we're going to do the same thing with our house. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to open up an image file to show you what we're going to be creating here. And I'm going to go pull up my image. So I have some images here of different picture frames. So what I'm going to be creating right now is this picture frame here, which is a simple little picture frame that, sits on top of a desk or on a shelf, something like that. So let's go ahead and model this. This is going to be pretty easy and straightforward to do. Okay, I'm going to maximize my scene here. I'm going to start off with a simple box, just rough out a shape right there. And the next thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to try to get those dimensions similar to the image right there. So I'm going to rotate my view here until I get something that is similar in terms of perspective of the photograph. And then I'm just going to go ahead and start to adjust some of this stuff here. So I know it has to be pretty wide, so I'll adjust the length there to make it nice and wide. Kind of a rectangle, okay? And the width, I'm going to make sure it's pretty skinny here. Something like this is pretty good, okay? Has to have a little bit of thickness there, or else it wouldn't look very realistic. I'm going to convert this to an Editable Poly, and now this is going to be pretty simple and straightforward. I'm going to take this polygon here, I'm going to go ahead and inset it, and basically I'm trying to get the inset from this corner to this corner right there. See that piece right there? So actually I think I got it pretty good, okay? Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move this forward a bit, like this, okay? Just to give it kind of the look that's in the reference image. See that right there? Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and inset this again. And I'm basically trying to get this distance here, right there. You can see this area right there is what I'm trying to get. And I think I got it pretty good right there. Okay. Then I'm going to extrude this in a little bit. So you can see right there it got extruded in just a bit. And I'm going to go ahead and inset this again, try to inset from here to down here. So I'll inset this again and go something like this. Looks pretty good. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to extrude this in again a little bit just like that. And there we go. I'd say that's pretty good. Alright, that's good enough right there. Alright, that's good. Now for the back side, we need to create some kind of a stand for this. Now I'm going to go ahead and rotate this guy here. And let me do that with angle snap turned on. And maybe I'll rotate about 10 degrees so it's kind of leaning like this a little bit. If I go to my front view here, you can see what I have. Okay. So let me go back to perspective view here. Let me go ahead and minimize that image. Let me bring up another image here that I found that shows us the back side of this. So the back side is going to have to be something like this. We're going to need something like this to basically hold it up into position. Okay. So how am I going to do that shape? Well, I'm going to go ahead and just use that for rough reference. I'm not going to do the exact same thing from the image. But I'm going to try to do something here. I'm going to go to the scale tool here and scale this polygon down right here, holding on shift. But if I do this, you'll notice that it doesn't scale properly. If I look at this from the side, you can see it made a little bit of a mess. So to make sure that this scales properly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here to my coordinate systems. And right now it's set to view. What I want to do is switch to local. And you can do that quickly and easily by holding on the Alt key and then right clicking to open up this quad menu where you could change your world coordinates here. So you could switch to world mode, view mode, parent, local, screen, so on and so forth. So I want to make sure I'm using local mode. Okay. And with local mode, activate the scale tool, then switch to local mode. Hold down shift and just go ahead, make this an element. Just take and scale this polygon down like this. So I have a piece that that is something like this. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to extrude that. And I'm going to bring it down here to where our floor is right here. Okay, so something like this. And then maybe I'll go ahead and scale it out to flare it out a bit like this. Okay. Then I'm going to go to the front view here, and I'm going to make a cut using this quick slice tool. Now I'm going to go to my grid and snap settings, and I'm going to turn vertex snapping off, and I'm going to make sure grid points is turned on. And then I could just use the quick slice tool on this guy to make a quick slice from here to here. And then I'll quick slice this guy right here, and looks like it didn't do my quick slice there. So let me. That's right, the video started again. 3, 2, 1. So let me go ahead and use the quick slice tool to go ahead and make a quick slice across the bottom here. It's not slicing. The hell? Now why the heck is it doing that? Editor, edit that stuff out of the video. There was some kind of weird bug here with 3ds Max. Starting again in 3, 2, 1. So let's use the quick slice tool here and make a slice across the bottom right there. And we're going to take all those polygons down there and delete them. Go to a perspective view here. Delete these polygons. And then the bottom right here, I'm going to just take this border of edges and cap that. And that'll take care of that. Okay, so there we go. So now it's got a nice little stand for it. Alright, I'm still not done here. Let me close this image and let me open up another one. I also want to create a picture frame that hangs off a wall, so something like this. So I want to create something that's like this. You can see here the frame the way it's supposed to be. So I'll go ahead and create another box, like so. Just start to rough this out. Take the width there and flatten it out a bit so it's skinnier. So something like that. I'm going to take the length here, make it a little bit more rectangular. Something like this will probably work out pretty good. Okay. I'm going to convert this to an editable poly. I'm going to take this polygon that's right here, and I'm going to inset it, something like this. Then I'm going to push it forward a bit like that. Maybe a little bit more. That's fine. Then I'm going to go ahead and inset this again. Okay. Now I'm going to extrude this in like so. So not too much, not too little. Find a nice in between. So okay, so something like that. I don't have to worry about the back because this thing's going to be hanging off of a wall, so no one will ever see the back. So there we go. There's our picture frames. Let me close that image out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rename these guys. I'm going to call this one picture frame table, because I know that one sits on top of a table or some kind of a surface. I'm going to take the other one and call that one picture frame wall, because this one hangs off of a wall. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the table picture frame over here, and I'm going to export this guy out, and I'm going to export it to the import folder so it makes it easier to find later. I'm going to make this an OBJ, and I'm going to call this one picture frame table. I want to make sure that my polygons, my faces is set to polygons right there, and everything else looks pretty good. So I'm just going to hit export, hit done. I'm going to go ahead and select the wall picture frame here. I'm going to do the same thing. Go to export selected and export in the same location and call this one picture frame wall. And I'm going to export, hit done, and we should be good. Okay, so the picture frames are pretty much finished. I'm going to end this video here, and in the next one we're just going to continue here creating our props.